Welcome to Cartomancy Mesquite. I'm Angela. Hi, everybody. It's good to see you all. Let's see. I got to remember where my camera is so I can wave to everybody and say hi. Yesterday, when I was on with Diana and Sherry, a topic came up for discussion for our card readings. And that's in how do you identify people? You know, as opposed to kings are older men, queens are females of any age, and the jacks are boys or young men of, say, 20 to 30. So I thought I'd give you a few more hints you can get from. I do have some of these marked, as you'll remember. If you remember when you marked your cards on the King of Hearts, it says good advice. The King of Clubs, honest. The King of Pentacles, stubborn. The King of Spades is ambitious. Well, that's cups. The hearts are cups. The clubs are wands. The diamonds are pentacles. And the spades are swords. So what you do, what you can do, and I'm going to do this myself actually because it's not a bad idea. I just got out a card of a bunch of learning cards that I had. I have one deck that I bought forever ago. This one's fairly decent. And you look at the characteristics listed on the bottom, the characteristics of the person, and you just pick out one or two that'll really, that may be a personality that would be reflected, that would give you an idea of who you're dealing with. That way um, you can identify people in your family or people around you, friends, coworkers, whatever. It might help you identify them. So with the Page of Swords, which would be the Jack of Swords, he's vigilant, protective, guarded. He believes in fairness. You can grab any of those kind of words and put that on your card to help you. I've learned this over 50 years, so I've forgotten more of it than, you know how that works. I have a feeling for each and every one of these cards and where they're at in my reading. So I can detect anybody in my family from just these 12 cards right here. So the Page of Pentacles, he's good at goal setting, takes advantage of opportunities. He's a good negotiator. He's a student, a scholar. Then the Page of Wands, which is the Jack of Clubs, is faithfulness, energetic, actor, politician, preacher, inspirational speaker, athletes, performers. That's who the Jack of Clubs is. And then the Page of Cups is kind, intuitive, cooperative, thoughtful, quiet, imaginative, psychic, emotional. You can grab any of these words and you can put them down the sides of your cards. That'll give you a hint as to which person you're dealing with. Hi, Vivian. And that's the jacks. So the Jack of Swords is the spade. The Jack of Pentacles is the Jack of Diamonds. The Page of Pentacles is the Jack of Diamonds. The Page of Wands is the Jack of Clubs. And the Page of Cups is the Jack of Hearts. Additionally, what they do, I'll finish this and then I'll go on to that. Okay, there's something else I can add to this. Okay, the Queen of Swords or the Queen of Spades. Thought dominates feelings, perceptiveness, keen insight, fair judgment, right decisions. Intelligent, witty, analytical. And that's your Queen of Swords and your Queen of Spades. They're the same person. Then the Queen of Pentacles is the Queen of Diamonds. And she's essential, responsible, creative. She draws wealth. She's concerned with the welfare of others. She's a businesswoman. Okay, then we have the Queen of Wands, which is the Queen of Clubs. Good business sense, confident, foresight, attractive, magnetic, mature woman. Helpful friend, kind, loyal, generous, confident. You can use any of those words to help you in your reading. So you can put whatever you want on down the side of your cards that'll help you get there. Slightly rotten carving. Who are you speaking of? I'm not getting it. Okay, Jane, I got your question. And I've just gone into Queens. Okay, Queens. It is kind of hard to tell with the Queens. Basically, you'll have the children's card around them. That sometimes means that the queen is a child. Okay, thank you, Sherry. Good idea. Okay, the Queen of Wands is the Queen of Clubs, and she's a good businesswoman, a helpful friend, generous, confident, competitive. Any of these words that you can come up with that that you'll look at your you can go to your book, or you can go to some um learning a learning deck of tarot cards, and you can get these ideas about who these people are. Now, the Queen of Cups is the Queen of Hearts. She makes choices based on sincere feelings. She's imaginative, empathetic. She has cult interests. She could be a mother substitute in someone's life. So that's the Queens. Now, the Kings. The King of Swords is the King of Spades. And on my card, I wrote ambitious and authoritative. And that's pretty much, an analytical man of authority who makes balanced judgments and gives excellent advice. So you can see where they kind of tie in the tarot descriptions and the descriptions that I've got on the playing cards. Now, the King of Pentacles or King of Diamonds. I've got stubborn and influential on there. This is a mature, grounded male, successful, wealthy business, bettering yourself, not a risk taker. Stability, security, enterprising, someone preoccupied with financial matters. And like I said, stubborn. Stubborn is the word that gets it for me. Hi, Twisted Sushi. Hello, everyone. Hi, Fatima. Hi, Sherry. Okay, then we have the King of Wands, and that's also the King of Clubs. And I have honest. I think I have good advice on that. No, honest and generous is the King of Clubs. That's what I've got on it. He's decisive, independent, loyal, optimistic. Someone who inspires others to creative achievement. So that's your King of Wands. And like I said, you can go to your books that you've gotten with other decks, and you can pull things out. Yeah, I do need a moderator, Twisted Sushi. Let me see how I can do that. I don't know how to do that while I'm on, but I'll add a bunch of you on. Yep. Y'all are going to get surprised. You're going to have the wrenches next time. And I must have achieved something. I've got a, what do they call them? I've got a troll. That's a real achievement. I haven't had a troll before. Slightly Rotten, you seem to be my first one. I like that. That cracks me up. You're funny. Okay, and lastly, we have the King of Cups, which is the King of Hearts. On this one, I have good advice for the King of Hearts. He's trustworthy. He has a wealth of knowledge. He's caring, healing. And on here it says good advice. I've had that on my card for 50 years, and now I finally found a card that says good advice. Yeah. They're pretty much the same, and it'll help you narrow down on which people are showing up in your cards. Additionally, you can go in a way, you can use astrology to hone in on your people too, in that the cups are the water signs, the clubs are the fire signs, the diamonds are the earth signs, and the spades are what? Air signs. There we go. So we have water, fire, earth, air. And that's another way you can narrow down on who you're talking about here. Additionally, as I've said in another class, you can go by the card that, like the pentacles. I consider most of the time they're blonde people, really, really white, like me, ridiculously white. And then you got a little bit, in the hearts you get a little bit darker, a light complected person. And this isn't all the time. That's just if to narrow down on the people you know and you're dealing with. And then the clubs, that's going to be a medium colored person, like brown hair, maybe brown eyes. And then the spades would be a dark complected person. That's just one more way to narrow it down. And you can do that with kings, queens, and jacks, exactly the same. But if you take all of those facets and roll them together, you'll be able to identify your people in a heartbeat once you've got those particular identifying features nailed. Once you've got them nailed down, you'll be able to identify the people in your life, like fathers and husbands, wives, sisters, daughters, sons, son-in-laws. But I thought that would add something to what I've gone over with you so far. And that just came as a result of our discussion yesterday with Sherry. We came up with this, how do you know who the people are? So that I just wanted to go through that with you. Are there any questions? Any other questions? Okay, now I'm going to do Jane's question. How do you see young women? Well, in the cards, the spades is a widow or a divorced woman. So that's always going to be an older person. Now that's a fair girl. See, I have a girl at the top and then married at the bottom. This is an unmarried girl or an unmarried woman. It depends on who she's around. If she's more around the jacks, I would say she's younger because they're younger. If she's hanging around the kings, she's going to be older. And that's kind of how I go about it. And then there are other cards that will help indicate her age. Like when the child card comes up with her, if it's right next to her, the child is right next to her, sometimes that indicates that she is a child. She is a younger person. But if it says children, if it's reversed and it says children, then she's an older woman. She's of childbearing age. There are a lot of little things that add to it. Let's see what else I can come up with for that. It's basically in a reading that all of this comes out. Okay, the kiss card. That generally refers to older girls and not very young girls. I don't know why, but that's the way it seems to come out. Love affair is going to be an older person. That's going to be somebody like over 20. If that comes up with the queen. If their car comes up next to them, they're definitely of driving age. The marriage card, they're definitely older. Okay. And then there's the work card. That means she's old enough to have a job. Those are kind of the nuanced ways of peeling out who someone is. And that was the whole idea of going over this today, was to give you a more nuanced way of seeing who people are. And it takes a lot of readings to get this down in your head. To me now it's second nature, where that's why I'm having to peel this out of my head as we go doing these classes. As I said, it's a learning class for both me and you. I've never taught this. And most of it I know so instinctually that it doesn't come to mind immediately. So I kind of depend on your questions too, on how to teach this, because it's definitely intricate. It's intricate, but it's exacting, and that's some of what I like about it. As Sherry said yesterday, I did a reading for her 2 weeks ago, and I told her that a young man, well, not a young man, a man, the over 20 was going to go to the hospital, but it was all going to turn out all right. And she had no idea what was coming. And boy, it hit. I like that, Teresa. Don't even read the name in the chat. Imagine giving yourself a name like Rotten. That's kind of funny. Thank you, Sherry. I like that. Kara, there any other questions about how you identify people in your cards? Yeah, actually, Teresa, it still amazes me when I'm that spot on. I don't know why, but it does. Sherry, you will be a mod on the next show. Count on it. I don't know how to add them here, but I know how to add them when I go into YouTube. So I'll go back and I'll add mods. But I think that's quite a milestone. I got a troll. Wow. That's quite a feat. They've ignored me until now. I guess I'm getting a name around here. Yeah, Teresa, you'll be a mod too. Oh, okay. I can only add in YouTube chat. Sherry, I might want to meet with you to talk about some of these little technical issues. Because I know I can pull my YouTube chat in here, but I don't know how. I know it's possible, but I don't know how. And that would be a big help. There's little technical things I'd like to ask if you don't mind. Absolutely. We got each other's back. Okay. I'll give you a call. Thanks, Sherry. Okay, do we have any more questions? You know, you made it when your picture is on the cover of the Rolling Stone, or you got yourself a troll. Thank you. Yeah, I think I remember that. That sounds familiar. You might want to check that out. Sherry, you know what's the only thing you have to be afraid of? The things you don't know are coming. When you know they're coming, you can take steps to change that energy, because all these read is the immediate energy and where it would go if nothing changes. That's why I don't read for flighty people, because people that change their mind every 3 seconds, you can never do a good reading for them. Oh, I'm glad you got it, Teresa. But what I read is what's going to happen if nothing changes. If you don't change your mind, I can tell you you're not going to move for another 2-3 years, and then you can turn around and move next month because you just changed your mind. Okay, will my car situation get straightened out soon, or soon so my car can be delivered, like before the end of summer? Okay. I'm going to do a different reading for this one. I'm going to put your car in there, and that's going to be the signifier. I'll put it over here. I'm going to read on your car. It's a little bit like a secondhand reading, but it's a car, not a person. So let's see what's going to go on with your car. You have happiness coming because you're going to find out something about a widow that's going to make you happy. Beats me. Maybe she finds a fortune she didn't know about. Yeah, it says you're worried about your car. Someone is lying to you, Sherry, about that car. And they're going to get their wish on something to do with it. But that makes no sense. There's children involved. Maybe it's the child of someone you were dealing with. Ooh, there's a love affair for you in the next grouping. Someone will want you to sign papers. Let me go further in the reading before I tell you whether it's a good idea to sign the papers or not. Someone's going to shed tears over the signing of papers. And a fair girl is involved. Okay. This fair girl is going to go to the doctor's. Oh no, I'm sorry. There's a fair girl. You're going to the doctor. You're going to be angry. You're going to have a minor quarrel with the fair girl, and you're going to have to travel over water to get there. Okay, let me see. The person who's giving me the car is having to take an old friend to court to clear the title. He used the car for a loan and never repaid it, so we couldn't do a title transfer because there's a lien. Oh, my Lord, Sherry. That's horrible. The actual owner is having to take him to small claims court to get the lien removed. Oh, that's awful. Okay, let me give these a little shuffle and then do the spread for timing. But I didn't get anything legal in here. Oh, this is good. Children, a love affair, someone is lying to you about your car, but right after that, you get your wish. Let me see what the 2 9s are. I got to get these doubles and triples back into my head, the front of my head. Okay. You're going to be angry and disappointed with someone right here. And there's going to be a minor quarrel because somebody's going to ask you to sign papers. They're going to shed tears. They're going to give you the boo-hoos about it. They're going to give you a sob story. I would say be very leery of signing those papers. There's a change coming. I would say this situation is going to resolve itself relatively soon. Probably within the next 6 months. I know that sounds long, but with what you're going through, I know it isn't long. I've had heard people dealing with those kind of situation before. Okay, let's see. And then we can get it transferred to me. I'm not involved in the legal end of it. I'm just waiting for it to clear so I get the car. Okay, that's why I don't have any legal stuff in here. Precisely. Absolutely. Because someone's going to try and get you to sign papers. And okay, let me show you this. Right here is someone who's asking you to sign papers. Do you see all the dark cards around that? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark cards around the signing of papers. That's why I would say don't sign papers. There are other ways that can be indicated, but this is one of them, is by the color of the cards around it. Remember, the black cards or the dark cards are no, and the red cards are yes. So that's how I'm saying, no, don't sign the papers. That's where I get that from. Yep. But the funny thing is, Sherry, this one cracks me up. You're a lot like me. See that your love affair was just above your car, so you're going to love it once you get it. I fall in love with my cars too. My current car, oh, love it to death. I absolutely adore that car. Yep. There you go. And you need to find out what your car's name is. The name of my current car is Sheila. My other cards have been the Blue Bomb, Beast, Charles. Had a bunch of them, different names. So that's what I got for you, Sherry. Anything else? Oh, that's going to be a nice ride, a very nice ride. And that's what I love about my current car, is it's got a nice ride. Yep. It's a small car to me. Everybody else tells me it's a big car, but it's a small car to me, but it drives like a big car. And that's why I like it. It drives like a sailboat. Yep. I got a Buick Park Avenue. It is a lot smaller than I'm used to driving. I usually drive boats, or as I call them, land yachts. Would anyone else like a reading? Let's see who I've got up here. Okay, what's going on here? For some reason, I'm not getting to my starred things. Okay, if you put in a question before, put it back in because I can't find any of the questions. The last car I had that was mine was a black Toyota Camry. She let me know her name was Black Betty. Yep, they'll let you know. You can hear those. You can hear those names. Yep. Yeah, I always name my cars. They always let me know what it is. And I think that makes it more personal and more of a friendship than being a tool. It's more like a friend. Oh, yeah. That's hysterical. I love that. That's fabulous, Sherry. That is absolutely fabulous. Hi, Andrea. Glad you're listening. Do you have any questions? Yes, we went over how to identify people in your cards. And, I forget to go through that because I know that more instinctively than, knowledge wise, just because I've been reading so long. So I wanted to give you guys some tricks to help you get started to get there where I'm at. Oh, fires in California? Let me see what I can do on that one. Oh, speaking of fires, the place where my son-in-law works was burning down today. I don't know if they got the fire out yet. So far, we don't know of anybody being hurt, but we'll find out later. But he runs a scrapyard. He operates a scrapyard, and it's a massive one. So fires aren't unusual, but this was a rather large fire, large for them. Okay, fires in California. There'll be a lot of fires in California this summer. You're going to find out about a relative's love affair really soon. That person is going to be sick. Yeah, and you're going to find out real quick. That's just the immediate energy off the cards. Okay, this doesn't necessarily say yes or no. It's two fair people you haven't seen in years. You're going to get a letter from them. And the letter, I guess, today would be an email. And it looks like they're getting married. So it's a couple of people that are going to get married. But on the fire thing in California, it's going to be hit and miss, large and small. So you're just going to have to watch for them. Oh, hi, Akila. I didn't see you there. Good to see you. But as far as the fires go, I would just keep a lookout. We expected fires because of 4th of July, and knock on wood, we didn't get any. That's amazing. There's usually 3 or 4. Yep. But 4th of July is rather nuts here. And I'll find out in the next rain if they put any gunshots through my roof. That's why you don't shoot upwards. During holidays. Okay, can you please do a little more on relative having a love affair? Well, it shows them getting married eventually, and it's two younger people. They're fair complected. The girl is a blonde. She's very fair complected. She's a diamond, so she's very fair complected. This is a fair kid. These are going to be younger people. They're not going to be like, 30s, 40s. They're going to be a little bit younger. You haven't seen them in years, but you're going to get a letter about them. And that's their marriage. They're going to get married. Okay. How about if I just do a regular full spread and see if a pregnancy comes up? Because these people are younger, and generally that's why they get married at that age. I can try that. Yes, Sherry, exactly. Since I've lived here, I've had 5 holes from gunshots. And 2 years ago, a 12-year-old was killed by a gunshot that fell back down, hit her in the head. I've been keeping you in thoughts and prayers. Yep, we all are. Okay, let's see. What's Andrea's news about the couple getting married? You have a doctor's appointment. You're going to see children there. Why children are going to be there, I don't know, but okay, there's gossip. You're going to be successful because of the gossip. It's going to tell you something you need to know. From Sister Patty and her kids. Was not my daughter-in-law. This girl was unmarried. So your daughter-in-law would have already been married before. And it would have been come up marked. This is an unmarried girl. Got that one. Oh, and darn if I didn't miscount them. Okay, Angela, stop talking when you're laying the cards out. That's what happens when you gab while you're reading. Okay, let's start over. What's with this married couple getting married? What's the news around this couple getting married? What's the news around this couple getting married? There's going to be a party at your house. A divorced woman will be there. You going to have a little bit of a party, Andrea? Okay. Now I'm seeing nothing about this marriage, so I don't think it's anything really shocking or important or anything that you'd be worried about because it's just not showing up here at all. Let me see what we've got here. You've got 3 aces. That's you're going to go somewhere you've never been before. And you've got 2 black 8s. You're going to break a friendship with someone, but that looks like a ways off. But first we have a call about a hospital visit. You're going to get your wish. A call. It's yeah. You're going to get a call about a hospital visit. That you're going to get your way with that. And for some reason, you have work at that hospital, but you're also going to have an enemy there. Sounds like drama in my sister's life. She's been a Trump supporter. So little contact. Yeah, that's probably where it's coming from. This is a little concerning right here. You've got an enemy who's going to have an accident. You're going to shed tears about it, but you're going to get a gift from a fair man. I would say maybe he's going to give you something to help you feel better. Like people bring flowers and food when there's a death in the family, but this is an accident. There's going to be an accident of some kind, and you're going to shed tears. It doesn't appear to be you. I think it's going to be somebody else. It may be this fair man. He may be involved in the accident or even caused the accident. Yep, you're going to places you don't know. You got a little bit of travel in your future, Andrea. And then this fair man, fair married woman, they're going to be drinking. And it has you being married, but then divorced. So I'm going to have to shuffle these and lay them out in the time spread to see, make more sense of these, because that last part made no sense at all to me. I have had that problem. Last month was a living nightmare for me. Absolutely, no kidding. It was absolutely crazy trying to find those places because I hadn't had much medical care in 30 years because I didn't really need it. Now all of a sudden I need 2 major surgeries. And my first surgery is going to be in August. So I'm thinking about doing some kind of special show before I go get that surgery done. It's just something big and splashy, just for the fun of it before I go do my surgery. That's my jaw surgery I'm doing first. That's why I would like to do something big in case I don't know if I'll be able to talk afterwards because it depends on how bad it is when they get in there. They aren't really sure, just how far they'll have to go. Okay, you're going to get a call where you're going to shed tears about that accident. It's a fair married girl or woman. Fair married woman's going to be in an accident. You're going to shed tears. You're going to get a call about that, and that's coming pretty quick. And then you're going to get your wish about this visit to the hospital for this, and it has to do with this fair man, a fair unmarried man, older man. That could be your doctor, but you're going to get your wish about whether or not to go to the hospital or what hospital, or it's going to be something questionable around the hospital. And then there's you divorced, you're going to be working, and somebody's going to be drinking and taking drugs. That sounds like some of your old work that you used to do. And that's where the marriage comes in. And this is a ways off. It says you're getting married and you're going to get a gift, but someone's your enemy. So you don't want to, you want to think about that long and hard. If it seems like a dream come true, it's a nightmare. Let me just say that. Leave it right there. If it sounds like a dream come true, it's a nightmare. But that's a ways off. But your imminent thing coming is a call about an accident. That's not a bad idea. I love that. Yeah, I think I do need to do sign language. I agree with you on that. Yep. My granddaughter knows how. She does it very well. But she's the only one in the family that does sign language. But yeah, the next thing you're going to hear about, you're going to get a phone call about this accident. And you're going to shed a few tears about it. But the thing is, the cards around this accident are decent cards. So the accident, don't take it, don't fall apart because of an accident. Because you've got all of these red cards around this accident. And you've got your wish with it. You're going to shed tears, but you're going to get your wish. Whatever you want the outcome to be is the outcome. She lives in Michigan. Yeah. That could be her. Right there. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red cards out of 7 around this little incident here. No, actually it won't. It would probably go right hand in hand with it, because I found that things blend. Like the tarot cards blend in with these. My pendulum blends in. The readings seem to be cohesive with any type of other communication style. Like I use my pendulum, I use oracle cards, playing cards, tarot cards. I can mix them all and get a cohesive reading. So I don't think sign language would interrupt anything on that. Yeah, that could be. That could be. But that call is coming very soon. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you got that call tomorrow. Yeah. But your marriage is way out at the complete end of your reading. So that's a long ways off. But just never forget, if it seems too good to be true, it is. Run in the opposite direction. Yep. Somebody's going to give you a gift, but that person is your enemy. And it could be the person that wants to marry you. So keep that kind of stuff in mind. All of her grandchildren are fair, and if communication opens, she will have lots of stories. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, the floodgates will open. And you'll hear some of the craziest shit. That's the way my family is. And I think yours is kind of similar to mine. Yeah. My sister Patty